climb on the chair. Okay, so we're full rainbow, okay? You can get a picture of me with a full rainbow.
Gosh, you can hardly see you, just little outline.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
Striking.
Strangest thing.
Strange.
People and I disappeared in a rainbow.
This is what happened when we started, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
When we were going to start doing our recording, this is how it came.
I've never seen such a thing before.
No, it's rather unusual.
It's got a lot of purple in it, hasn't it? Lots of pretty colours.
Where does it come from?
Lovely colours. It's very trancy, actually.
And where does the rainbow come from, Carol?
The rainbow's coming from the window. It's just a normal window. So I don't know what's happening. So it's very odd to see yourself disappear in a rainbow. You can only see my hands.
It's like the refraction of light through the window.
Yeah, but it's not even. There are some crystals in the window, but it's not shining through a crystal. It's just coming through the window. And as soon as it was normal until you came on, and then as soon as you came on, it turned into a rainbow.
Well, I'm glad. We can all see it, can't we? Because it's like
I thought you were hypnotising me already. I'm hallucinating beautiful rainbows.
Well, I mean, it's a hallucination that we can all see.
Yeah, so it's
So what is it? It's like a phenomenon.
it's a joint one.
It's a joint
Hallucination.
hallucination.
Many people have them.
The viewers will be able to.
Well, first of all, you turned me into butterfly. Now you've turned me into rainbow. And I was reading more about the butterfly, actually, and all to do with Eros and Psyche and the meaning of butterflies and things. See, it's even gone even more rainbowy now.
Yeah,
It's
now
just
you're
amazing.
just completely
It
amazed.
looks like a science experiment.
It does, yeah.
I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. So if you've just turned into all this wonderful light.
It's extraordinary. How can such a thing happen?
I mean, you've almost disappeared now. You just. Hugo's there.
Do you know what it looks like? A butterfly wing. A part of a butterfly wing. You know when they have all those amazing different colours on it?
Yeah.
When you
It
When
looks
it
like that
opens.
photography that's really heightened
photography.
You know, what's it called?
That high resolution.
When they go and they look into the microscopic details of
That's
things.
what it
It
is.
is, it is really odd because it is almost like Curlian photography or something. Because honestly, before you were here, it was quite normal when I did a screen check,
Oh.
and it's sort of the colours look like they're becoming more intense, more clear.
They're becoming stronger.
We can see them now. The purple's becoming more purpley.
Yeah, and the turquoise.
The turquoise is becoming very intense.
And there's no way to get rid of this unless you actually block out the light, which is quite extraordinary.
It's extraordinary.
So when you think about the metaphor for life, you know, how many people...
Yeah. Well, often, you know,
people don't know.
when we're looking at things, we we're making sense of light falling on shapes
Yes.
in our brains, and that's why, you know, have you ever had that experience where you've been sat in a waiting room and, you know, you've kind of tranced off and you've lost a bit of sense of time, and then you find that you're staring at the clock on the wall, and suddenly the hand does a flip move, and you think, oh, that clock's broken. But in fact, what's happened is it's to do with our vision, because there are actually gaps in our vision. So every now and then our brain gets it slightly wrong. So we see that moving part. So it's reducing now. Now that I'm almost less tranced out.
It's reducing now. We're just amazed here because we're actually witnessing this odd phenomena, you know, and it's actually happening now as you're beginning to slowly, perhaps coming out. There you go. Is it the colours? We begin to see you again.
Gone for more left brain and it got the rainbow went away.
So
I kind of get really zoned out again. Will it come back again?
I mean, we can look at life, can't we? We can look at life. We were watching one of Stephen Brooks' videos yesterday, and he was saying, how do you know? It was about someone that suffered from agoraphobia. And he said, have you always felt like this? And the guy said, yes, I have, always. So have you never known anything different? No. And he said, well, how do you know that how you're feeling is not normal then? And, and the guy, started laughing a bit, smiling. And he said, because I see when I go out, I see other people having fun, and I'm not having fun, and I don't feel like that. So I've come to the assumption that that's not normal. So seeing rainbows and things, when we go around our lives, what are we actually missing out on that we can't actually see? Because maybe, we haven't really looked properly. Yeah.
And it's like when I was at a friend's house recently, and we were saying to the kids, show us where, we were having a party, and she was saying, show us where the so-and-so's energy stops, where's their energy? And the kids could just go up and say, it's here. This is where their energy stops. So some people had a really big energy field around them, and other people had a smaller energy field around them. And it made me sort of wonder, with children, we say to them, is this blue, or is this red, or, is this, what number is this, or what animal is this? But, if we said to them, where's the energy field, then they know that too.
Well, they would. There you go. Well, it's like the Aborigines, isn't it? They have, they're not called Aborigines anymore. They are. They're still called that. Well, yeah. They have those.
They live in Australia.
They have they can do amazing things that we can't do, and it's because it's been passed on. Yeah, it's been passed on through the generations.
So what you mean is that our children know many things that we may have lost contact with?
No, I think we block our children by like what you say.
We're asking them about numbers and not about questions.
Instead of making them more open, by the questions, the language that we use actually limits their possibilities.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
Well, it's just a fascinating thing. It's like in the 1980s, I went and visited a tribe in Borneo who, were seriously in the middle of the jungle, and it was very strange because the group that I went with, who invited me to go along with them, were kind of Christian missionaries. So they were taking books and things out, and I'm sure they had the best of intentions, but they never asked the people what the people's beliefs were, or what the people knew. They came with this other, this other knowledge which they thought was, a good knowledge, and they were saying, learn this. And the books that we took out to them were the books that we learned English from. So they were Janet and John, so in Little House, and a Red Setter, and Daddy Goes to Work, Mummy Stays at Home, and things. And it's completely bizarre.
For them, yeah.
In this tribe, they were so beautiful. They were so. It was the first time I'd seen natural people. And they were slim and well, and had amazing energy. The way they looked after their children was really beautiful. And the whole time I was there, I was just wanting to ask, what were they doing? What did they think?
You found yourself wondering about that a lot. I think if we find ourselves wondering, that's a good state to be in. I think to wonder.
Instead of imposing our own set of beliefs on people, is to wonder what
we can receive from them as well.
Yeah, it's really a way of getting out of the way of yourself. And that's really what you can do with a neutral observer. So with the neutral observer, you start to become more and more aware of yourself. And then once you're really aware of yourself and have done a considerable amount of work, it depends where you're at, how much work you're going to do on yourself. But then when you've done that, then you can get out of the way of yourself, and then you can work with other people without any judgment. So you're not having all this kind of internal dialogue interfering with what's going on. And I suppose I'd already learnt about NLP when I met tribes people, so maybe I'd learnt that from there, or maybe it was a natural thing and be a natural respect for people. I don't know what was going on with me, but...
Yeah, it was probably a natural respect. Because we found when we were very little, we used to question things like that naturally. And they used to tell us to be quiet, didn't they?
We would wonder too much. Well, we were often wondering about things.
We went to a Catholic school in England and they would, tell you to keep quiet if you wondered about things.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably, with you, it was probably a combination of the NLP and then already a natural curiosity that most children have, because most children are curious. And then it's the adults around them that sort of say, no, don't, never mind, it's not, not really relevant here, or it just is like this and that's it.
Well, yes, it's like when they tell you not to daydream, isn't it? I mean, what a crime. That's all I can say. I think daydream should be encouraged regularly throughout the day. And
Absolutely.
If you do see somebody in a daydream state, it should be respected and encouraged. Yeah, definitely. Because we were always daydreaming as kids, weren't we? Used to spend hours and hours doing it. And it was often, told off.
Yeah, and nobody asks, what are you daydreaming about?
No, it's a sort of, when someone tells you a dream and then someone actually, oh, that's boring. The person that's telling the dream is really excited, unless you're sort of telling it to a dream weaver or something. But when you get up in the morning and you say, oh, I had a dream, and you're all excited about this and this. And the people around you just say, oh, when's it going to finish then? All right. And you're in, because that, I think that's a sign of, them saying, okay, then that's the sort of dream. Well, that was a dream. It's not really relevant. And yet dreams are so important.
Well, just as daydreaming is.
They're just part of our minds, aren't they? They're part of what we get up to in the night.
Well, what you get up to in the night and during the day. I mean, we definitely suggest going to lovely daydreaming states whenever it might seem appropriate, and there are so many times throughout the day when these little states can come on ever so quickly. Just gazing at something in particular, or like what Carol said, and you said before, waiting at the doctor's, can be a beautiful chance to go into a wonderful daydreaming state. And the wonderful thing about it,
you're really touching on something, because I am never bored. I never ever get bored. And sometimes I attribute that to, my curiosity, my NLP curiosity. But sometimes I think it's also to do with being an artist. So how can you get bored? Because everything, everything, there are patterns, textures, colours, and sounds and tastes. And it's like you can't, going back to what we were saying earlier, you can't not communicate either.
No.
So, like we are emitting rainbows, or, I was speaking to a lady the other day, and she was wondering what was happening in her communications with other people. But what I could see was there was like these great thunderbolts of energy coming out of her.
There you go.
So although she felt she wasn't communicating, maybe, or getting a chance to speak, actually what was going on was there's this energy, which, has to have an effect on everybody else. So you can't not communicate.
Were these thunderbolts good energy or not so good?
Were they perhaps frightening people
Were
off?
they too powerful, or they
too powerful.
Too powerful.
And interestingly, because when you know more, then you can begin to direct your energy in a more useful way for yourself. But because it was outside of her awareness, she wasn't aware of the effect it was having on other people.
Of course not. She had this amazing energy inside her, which perhaps came out as being slightly aggressive, perhaps, to others.
Just a lot of energy,
And some people sort of say, whoa, too much. Not even realising, but they were just naturally...
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe verbalising a lot because her energy was so strong. So although she was being non-verbal and maybe feeling she wasn't being heard, her physical energy was creating a communication in the space with everybody. But going back to what you were saying about seeing things, and I've interrupted you about never bored. It's a fascinating thing being able to daydream, because anytime you're stuck in a traffic jam or you're waiting or that kind of thing, when they say a watch kettle never boils. I mean, time is really perceptual.
Very.
It's
a very playful element, we find, yeah.
Yeah, when you do watch the kettle, it takes ages. I can never be bothered.
But when you get lost in a little daydream, it just goes by like that.
Yeah, and when you do learn how to do a little bit of hypnosis on your own, like if you ever listen to any self-hypnosis tapes or watch any of our videos or do anything that's a little bit trancey, then you just find that you just sort of know when you're sort of starting drifting off into that comfortable trance state. Your eyes sort of just start glazing over a little bit. And you're like still in the room, but you're not really sort of there because you've gotten inside and you're thinking about things.
Yeah.
They make me feel good.
Well, yeah, and the great thing is that once you learn to, in a way, sort of, you can learn to access these daydreaming states very quickly. And then you can actually utilize them. You can think, great, I'm going to go into a little daydreaming state now. And I'm going to wonder about my next project. And it actually works. You can actually direct what you need and you will get a lot of answers.
Yeah, they're like focused daydreaming.
They're focused daydreaming, yeah. I mean, in the summer, this is what we do every day, isn't it? Most of the time. Yeah.
And as you gain more awareness, you can access the trances that you want to have. Because I believe, I kind of think about it in terms of that where everything is trances.
Everything.
So sometimes, I had a client who came with her child, and really what the child, I thought, needed was lots of giggling, fun, and collapsing of all the fear. So the trance that I made for the child was lots and lots of giggling.
Yes.
Yeah.
The parent thought really that they'd come to a hypnotist, so that I should be making the child go to sleep.
Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions about what trance is and what it isn't. I mean, all we can say is that basically anybody and everybody goes into trances.
Yes, experiences it
every single day. Any kind of leisure activity, anything really. I mean, things such as painting. So for you, Carol, you can access your trance states obviously very quickly. Stroking your dog. Watching television.
He's in trance.
Yeah, reading a book.
He got into such a big trance he pushed me off the chair.
I mean, and that's all trance. I mean, yeah, once you become aware of what trance is.
Yeah, and then when dogs go into trance, have you noticed when they have to awaken, if we want to click our fingers when we want to come out of it, or say 3, 2, 1, wide awake and ready to go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But dogs, they will actually, start their little stretching pattern. And, and that's sort of a way of coming out of that little dozy trance and going into a more wider alert, and then their little ears start coming out.
They start perking up. Yeah, they do. Yeah, our dogs do that all the time.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to explore a wide awake. Let's do that. Let's explore a wide awake state and make an anchor for it. So we wake up. Because what my dogs do is that when they're in a kind of trancey kind of state, they amaze me, because if they notice, because if you notice something that's really important, you have to move. You find that you can do. And the dogs are like that because they look after the peacocks here, and so they have a job to do.
Yes, big job.
Yeah, if the fox comes by,
it
doesn't matter, even if they're lying with all 4 paws in the air, they just wake up and they're just out of there. No stretching, just into action.
Because it's immediate.
It's an emergency.
Yeah, well, a fox is definitely an emergency.
Well, that would be like an abrupt way of coming up. You know, like if you had no time, like what?
Yes, it could be
in
also
the
immediate.
videos, if you have no time, you will be wide awake and alert and ready to go. You know, without any, just like that.
Yeah, it can be very immediate.
Just immediately. That is true.
Yeah.
And Paul McKenna says that in his CDs, doesn't he?
He does.
For any reason you need to awaken, you will be wide alert.
Wide awake and alert. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So let's make an anchor for that.
So
state
what
now.
would you like to choose? Because you're the expert in anchors.
I have an anchor. I mean, anchors are the natural process, I suppose we could call triggers.
Triggers.
So it's like when the dog sees me, put my wellies on or my woolly hat on when I'm halfway there at the moment, then he's just like, that means walk,
Yeah.
You can see he's instantly playing. He's playing his video of what going for walks is like. Chases runs about and goes daft, and so he gets all super alert. So it's a kind of trigger of me, picking up my Wellingtons or something like that. So that's a kind of visual anchor. And then if you think about kinesthetic anchors, there was an interesting one once where I worked with somebody with a snake phobia, and so we snake phobia was completely gone. So she was able to go, and she had to go to somebody's house where there was a snake and work there. So it was a big problem for her.
Yeah.
So she was completely excited because she had, the fear was gone. And then it was interesting because I met her again, and she was with her partner. And her partner, we started talking about the snake phobia and how, it was good it was gone and everything. And her partner just went into this kind of pattern of going, oh, you used to be really scared of snakes, didn't you? No. And he kept touching her arm. And he was like, oh, the snakes, like that, and touching her arm. And he was rebuilding the phobia.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, that's not very good.
No, not at
all. It was a real anchor, and there is that kind of thing, like when somebody goes to tickle you, and as soon as they touch you, you get more and more kind of sensitized. So I guess in some ways we don't completely know how kinesthetic anchors work, but what we do know is that if you had your fingers in a sensor and your brainwaves were being read on a computer, and then we created an anchor and somebody else fired the anchor, then the brain waves change on the computer reading. So we know it works. And we know it works by experiencing it, and we know it works by watching people do exactly, what I'm saying with that couple and snake phobia. So it's a natural process. So when we do it deliberately in NLP, instead of calling it a trigger, we call it an anchor, because it's an actual deliberate process. And what's wonderful about it is you can use it to collapse unwanted states, or you can use it to access fantastically powerful states very, very quickly. So everybody can respond to a kinesthetic anchor. They might be, for some people they might be just the perfect thing. For other people it may not be the thing that suits them quite so well. I use them a lot. I like them a great deal. So I have one that's a wide awake state. I hang around with a lot of hypnotists.
We need that one, don't we?
Very handy. A few tricks up your sleeve.
I have it on the inside of my knee.
Right.
And I quite like that because I can just, I can even just bump my knees together. Just drop my hand on it. So it could be a little bit inconvenient if I was doing a deep trance with somebody, I did an arm drop and it brushed against it. It's quite tucked in. So that's where I have that. I have other anchors for doing artwork and for being really positive and all sorts of different things. A really powerful anchor that I use to collapse other unwanted states that pop up.
Wonderful.
Just do it in a few minutes.
So practically you just actually touch an area of your body and that will trigger a certain feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing. I mean, I think a lot of people don't know about these kind of things.
No, so say, let's use it in a therapeutic way. Well, this is wide awake, but I was just thinking of someone because, we talk to a lot of people that have anxiety problems. So if they wanted to get out of an anxiety, say like a little panic attack, they could use an anchor, couldn't they?
Absolutely. To access, because people are
A good
in panic
feeling.
time.
Yeah.
You know, when they go to bed or when they're having a cup of tea, or with their best friend, they probably are really relaxed and laughing.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. So they're not always in that anxiety, panicky state, are they?
But when somebody has a problem, what we tend to, when we're worried about the problem, we start thinking, oh, I do this all the time. But in fact, if you were a fly on the wall, you discover that they were maybe only having a panic attack, you know, once a month or something.
Yeah.
So those have been thinking about wide awake states. He's getting all wide awake now.
Yes. We've noticed.
What are we talking about? Panic.
So he's like, oh, I'm waking up now.
Hugo's beginning to wake up. Hello.
So we'll do two. So let's do a wide awake one, and then let's do some more relaxed thing.
Yeah.
So therapeutically, there's lots of uses, but just in everyday way, it's a really good way to change state very, very quickly. So instead of having to go back and thinking of your memory and accessing that, you can actually just build an anchor and then fire it. So the process of building an anchor, what we do is we think about times where we've been really, really alert. Right. So maybe times where, with you two, times that you've had a fantastic idea, when you decided to do your English Italian project.
We can get that practically every day. So that's easy, isn't it? Normally we get really excited. We need a calming one, But anyway, we're getting excited.
Excited ones first. So
well, we're going to get excited about all these lovely new workshops and seminars we're going to be doing with you. That really makes us.
Yeah.
That's interesting because that's two examples. So one of them is going back into your going into your memory bank.
Yeah, and one is in the future.
We tend to forward.
Sometimes we go back as well. We think we enjoy watching the old little movies we've got in our head. Sometimes the best ones. Yeah.
Okay. So do that one first. See what you saw. Hear what you heard. Feel what you felt. And get all the smells and all the tastes, all the files are there, all those senses have all been mapped. So access them again, and then this time when you've got it really good, just touch wherever you're going to put it. I don't know if you're going to put it on the inside of your knee or between two fingers. So if it was between two fingers, it's very quick. It's just at the point where it feels best, the peak state, just touch and then release. Very, very fast. You just want to catch the peak. So touch and then release.
Okay.
So it's like run the movie, and at the point that's the best bit in the movie, just do a tiny touch. Be quite accurate about where you place it. Sometimes I think on trainings we should have felt pens and draw circles on ourselves.
Right. Okay.
So each time it peaks, you just catch it. So some people have, Violetta looks like she has quite a long peak.
Yeah.
Because all states kind of have a flow,
Oh, right.
and it fades away again. So often when you see people making anchors, they collect the whole experience, but actually that's a whole range of states. So I just go for the top bit.
I just went for a little moment.
Moment,
Just an image.
I would do.
Did you go for the whole thing? Wow.
It looked really great. I mean, it looked really nice state. Okay, and then do one which I like the idea that you had of doing one which is kind of an imagine. It's in your kind of future bank.
The future,
future
timeline.
Exciting.
Just jump in there.
Yeah. We can do that. Okay.
So do that one. So think about what you're going to see, what you're going to hear, what you're going to feel, how is it going to taste, and how is it going to smell, and then just anchor it.
Do we have to anchor it in
the same place or in a different place?
Same place. So this is called stacking an anchor.
Stacking an anchor. Oh, exciting!
Yeah, very similar states, and put them all in the same place. So we make the anchor really powerful.
Okay.
Again, just catch the peak. catch the perfect moment when you're seeing what you're going to see and you're hearing what you're going to hear and feeling what you're going to feel. So some people are going to be better at finding times in their lives which have been, great examples of that state, and other people are going to be really good at imagining. It doesn't matter. It still gives you a really good feeling.
Yeah.
And you can see, looking at you, you're getting really powerful kinesthetic.
Yeah, we are.
You know that when I went to a band, when we went to the band, and when I was near the front. No, when I actually went on stage and I saw this lady laughing in the audience, he was going, "There you go, I'm going to fire it." John the Bell was saying, "I'm going to fire the anchor now." And I was saying, that cannot be true. She was laughing like mad. He was staring at her and she was laughing and laughing. And then afterwards, of course, we discovered it is true. But people, it almost seems unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so simple.
But if you actually...
And you think that if I just go around...
It's like pretend, it's not,
Yeah.
it can't really happen. That's not possible.
No, so tonight, if I want to access these good feelings, I just press like that, because mine was really easy. What did you do?
No, I did it.
Oh, you did it here. Oh, gosh, no, I wouldn't like that.
You go with your blood test.
No, I wouldn't have a blood test. Yes,
I've got a fantastic one on my ear. Just here on my ear.
Oh, he is quite clever.
I don't like people touching
Oh,
my
no,
ears.
you don't like the ear, no.
It was made in a really lovely way. It was made on a course, and with a deep trance. And I was taken back to the time that I was most creative in my whole life.
Wow.
So, you would have thought, when I thought about it beforehand, I thought, well, that might have been when I was working with, somebody fantastic like Eduardo Palozzi or, Mary Newcomb or, when I was problem solving or something like that. But in fact, as I sort of flew through my life and saw all these different things as, the person was leading me back, it took me back to primary 5 when I was in the sandpit with a boy called Angus. And we were making a sandcastle. Well, I was making a sandcastle and sort of showing off. And just having such a great time. And we were obviously in a trance because we never noticed all the other kids going away, and we never heard the school bell.
Yeah.
So when we looked up from the sandpit, we were horrified because the whole school was, inside the school, and we didn't know what to do. So we crept in, and somehow we managed to be kind of invisible. And the teacher she either never saw us or decided not to say anything. We just sat there.
Yeah.
It was an amazing experience, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. So we did that, and then I came back, and the anchor was there.
Wow.
And a few months later, I had to put together an exhibition, so I thought I must start work on it. So I thought, okay, what I'm going to do is pop the heater on in the studio, get my cup of tea ready, and then fire my anchor and go out to the studio.
Wow.
So that's what I did, and what happened was, instead of being in the studio and having to sort of do lots of sketching and get myself into a good mood and decide that my idea was good and I could stick to it for all the time that you have to stick to it, it was a completely new experience. In all these years of, doing things, I'd never experienced anything quite like this. I just had a completely playful, wonderful attitude. And I started to I'll put some of the work up actually on our page. I started to make work. And in 2 weeks, I had made an entire exhibition. Wow. Only one piece went wrong. And each day I did the same. I heated up the studio, made my cup of tea.
And then fired.
When you fire the anchor, it's different from making it. You just press it. And then you access the state, and then that's you in that place.
God.
And so when I exhibited the work, I asked a professional artist who is really experienced in the field. I said to her, how long do you think this work took me to make? And she said that she really liked the work and that she thought it had taken me 2 years.
There you go.
It took me 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, because I didn't waste any time getting into state. I just went straight into state, played with the work. And then it was only very recently I looked at the work and I realised that I had made the work out of sand.
Oh. Isn't that beautiful? It is.
Yeah, so.
It's incredible.
Wow.
Because what I'd done was I put some up, like I say, I painted these big swans in glue, and then I sprinkled sand over the top. And then when they were dry, I wiped ink all over the top of them, and the ink stuck to the spaces between the sand, and then that prints onto the paper as tones.
Wow.
But it was so similar to the experience of playing in sandpit. So it's really useful therapeutically or just everyday life.
So what actually happens inside the brain when we trigger the anchor?
You're accessing that state. So when I was popping out to the studio, I was accessing, that playful, free, creative, showing off to Angus, having the best fun in the world, what would I be, 9 years old? So instead of going out to the studio and being full of, this is a very important gallery and I really need to do good work, which is all the opposite you want. I had this really playful, who cares what anybody thinks,
Yeah, this is just me expressing myself. I want to say this.
So is that you're opening an old file? Is that what's happening?
You're accessing it, so you're going into state. Yeah.
It's brilliant, isn't it? What a use.
I can't think of another way. There's probably another way to explain it, isn't it?
Well, it's like opening. It's like going to your favourites and opening that favourite window, isn't it?
Yeah, on the computer.
Yeah. You're immediately there.
You could access it by, going back and thinking about the memory, and then making the picture, making the video really bright, making the sound really bright, and really getting into the state. But what's beautiful about a kinesthetic anchor, one that's on your skin,
it's immediate.
It's so quick, and it can be very complex. So if you're a public speaker, you could have one here, which is like going to get me on that stage. You could have one on here, which is full flow, everything talking. You could have a third one, which is kind of calming down so that you can listen to questions and answer really calmly. And then you could have a final one, which is just kind of nice gratitude and relax, and so you could shift state on stage.
It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think we'll end it here, won't we?
We'll end it, yes.
Is there anything you'd like to add, Carol?
No, so shall we do some relaxing ones now?
Maybe, yeah, just do a little relaxing trance at the end.
Relaxation is our...
Let's see if I can have some. He's in.
gone.
Hugo's gone in wonderfully.
The key to end it, because he's gone into this lovely calm state of relaxation that we can all access so easily.
Yes.
You can access it whenever you want from home.
Yeah.
No, it's so nice to have a cuddle as well, isn't it? We often forget to cuddle our loved ones.
We do forget to cuddle our loved ones, but the actual cuddling
it's very therapeutic, isn't it?
It is, yes.
It's a two-way thing of an exchange of energy that goes from one to the other.
Touching another living creature, may it be human or dog, or horse, or anything else, any kind of living creature, really.
But even plants.
Plants, there's a lot of tree hugging going on now. Imagine the energy.
Because trees have got their roots in the ground.
Yeah, they're very grounded. Trees are absolutely amazing, aren't they? And they also teach you how to be flexible as well, because even in a storm, they just sway with the wind, don't they?
Yeah, sometimes they get hurt, but then they're okay.
They're okay, yeah.
They just grow branches.
Yeah. They do, they're amazing.
It's quite fascinating, they sort of say, oh well, let's get on with it and just create something new.
Yeah, we've written lots of stories about trees, haven't we?
What's happening here?
The videos going a bit now.
I think
it's time to end it with...
Well, I think we should end it on a wide awake state.
Wide awake state.
So when you're ready, Carol, come around and enjoy a beautiful, creative week ahead.
Yes.
And you too, Hugo.
You do, Hugo.
And we will probably, there's going to be lots of exciting things coming up for you all.
Yeah, lots.
Because you're all in this journey with us, Explore NLP, and you're all learning how to manage your states, manage your mind, manage your money even.
Yeah, setting
And
off
manage
anchors.
your lovely relationships.
Yeah, very important.
Manage everything around you and making you, that beautiful butterfly or the beautiful person that you really are.
Yeah, accessing that rainbow of emotions that you have inside you.
Yeah, because rainbows are very beautiful.
Well, they
very
are.
important,
They
aren't
are. And there's lots of other words. Instead of just saying I'm happy, you can also say I'm ecstatic. I'm feeling absolutely wonderful. Marvelous, joyous.
Wonderful.
I mean, you don't just have to say the word happy,
Creative.
Yes, there can be lots of other words for happy. Feeling good.
Enrich your vocabulary.
Yeah, enrich your vocabulary. I mean, it could be absolutely delicious. You could say, I'm feeling delicious today. I mean, how are you going to feel if you say that to yourself? I'm absolutely feeling delicious today. Wow. It's really, so the happy is good. Happy is good, but play with the words.
We should have made him an anchor.
Yeah.
He's a little anchor. He's a little calming anchor.
He's
Hugo.
a darling,
Oh,
isn't
look,
he?
Teddy's asleep here.
Oh, where's Teddy? Here he is. Teddy, come. He's gone into a lovely, relaxing trance.
There's no way.
Oh, here you are, Teddy. Come and say hello. Oh, there you are, Teddy. Oopla, here he is. Here's our little fluffy one.
Keisha.
Hello, Teddy. Look at Hugo. Where's Hugo, Teddy?
Say hello to everybody.
More like you should be say bye-bye until next time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was lovely, thank you. We feel really good.
Oh, we do as well.
We do too.
And we're so looking forward to those. Firing those
We
future
will.
anchors.
We're firing all the anchors. Watch out, because the English is just going to start
Watch
firing
out,
those
the
anchors.
English sisters and Carol Robertson are about.
Okay, bye-bye.
And Teddy and Hugo too.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.